Samsung's latest release, the Galaxy Fold 7, has stirred up a lot of controversy. No S Pen support, the same 4400 mAh battery, charging speeds that haven't changed in years, and none of the fancy bells and whistles that we get on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, like the anti-reflective display. And Samsung is asking $2,000 for this here beautiful foldable phone, but is it worth it? Let's talk about what Samsung got right, what it got wrong, and what it's been like living with the Fold 7 for the last month. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start off with the build and design. Now visually, this phone is stunning. Whether you're into foldables or not, it's hard to deny how premium this phone looks. And I don't know if it's just me, but every time I'm out in public and I unfold this phone, I feel like I am under a spotlight and everybody is watching. I almost don't want to do it just to not draw attention to myself because I'm thinking that everybody thinks I'm better than them because my phone unfolds. How can you deny it? When I have this phone, I am the coolest guy in the room. Now comparing this to the previous Fold 6, they made it 26% slimmer and 24 grams lighter. And I gotta say, the in-hand experience with this phone is absolutely amazing. It is so much more manageable than the Fold 6. The only complaint that I have is it's so slim now that it can be a little bit tricky to try to get the grip on this phone to unfold it. I feel like Samsung should have added a little bit of texture here or maybe a nook to get your thumb on, because the amount of times that I've almost dropped it is getting concerning. And the wobble on this phone is unlike any phone I've ever used before. It's practically a seesaw, and using this phone laying down on the table if you're typing, it's unbearable. As for the materials, it's got an advanced armor aluminum, Gorilla Glass ceramic 2, and an IP48 water and dust resistance, so it's a little bit more durable, but I personally would never leave a $2,000 phone like this unprotected, and thanks to today's sponsor, Banks, I won't have to. This is the Grand Combo Armor Air case from Banks. Now, I have been using Banks cases for many years. They are some of my favorite cases because not only are they slim and lightweight, which I absolutely love because it keeps your phone from feeling bulky and big, but it's built tough with their Kevlar fiber material, and the built-in PU magnetic hinge protection and front screen protector will keep your phone protected from every direction. And not only are these cases slim but tough, but they look absolutely amazing. You can get it in this Armor Grid or in this Aurora Armor Air case as well. And the best part about these cases is they have MagSafe magnets on the back, so if you have accessories like wallets, wireless power banks, or magnetic wireless chargers on your bedstand, you can use all those accessories with your new Galaxy Fold 7 thanks to these Banks cases. And Banks was even kind enough to offer you guys a 15% discount, so be sure to pick one up today. I'll leave a link for you in the description below. Alright, now let's talk cameras. The Fold 7 features the same 200 megapixel main sensor from the S25 Ultra, which is a great improvement to the camera system, although unfortunately it's the same 12 megapixel ultra wide and 10 megapixel telephoto as the Fold 6. And I do find it annoying that they didn't make improvements to the other lenses, so I'm always having to kind of restrict myself to using the main 200 megapixel camera because it is the best by far. It's finally a very capable system. But if you need to punch into something or you want to take an ultra wide photo, and especially if you're in low light scenarios, the camera system as a whole just isn't as versatile as I would like it to be. And this year, Samsung dropped the under-display camera. And this change is of course a little bit controversial because on the one hand, you have better quality selfies. If you do video calls, you're gonna have better quality there. But on the other hand, you lose that immersive display when you're watching videos or playing games or consuming any sort of media because that hole punch cutout is just going to be staring at you the whole time. And if you ask me, I personally think we could have removed this camera from the inner display entirely because we already have a selfie camera on the cover screen that's just as capable, and we could have kept that immersive inner display. But hey, who am I but an opinionated YouTuber? You guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Now the cover display on here is wider at 6.5 inches, and my god, is this the best change to come to this phone. Finally, a outer display that is usable in every way, from typing to surfing the web. Heck, even watching videos and gaming is all manageable from this cover screen. And I no longer feel like I have to open up the phone to do small rudimentary tasks like answering a text message or sending off an email. And when you do open it up, you get this big, beautiful 8-inch AMOLED 120Hz refresh rate display, which is a great experience. Now at first, I felt like having a bigger cover screen was a little bit counterintuitive to having a Fold because now you don't really need to open up the phone in order to do all of your regular tasks. But as I've been using it over the last couple of weeks, my feelings have completely changed because when you want an easy, one-handable phone to do phone things, you got it. But when you need a tablet to do tablet things, you got it. I also find it really convenient that you can use this phone as its own kickstand when consuming media, which bodes much better than having to find something to lean your regular slab phone against and just having it constantly fall down. And all the while, I can use the second half of the display to maybe read YouTube comments or even do multitasking and bring up a whole different app while I'm watching videos. Maybe I want to answer some messages on WhatsApp or answer some emails. I can do all of that all while watching my video. Now, one complaint that I do have about this display, and it is Samsung's own fault for doing this to me, but it is not including that anti-reflective display like we have on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I just cannot use a phone the same anymore. When I am looking at the display and I see the reflections behind me, it just ruins everything for me. The anti-reflective display that they have on the S25 Ultra makes the display experience so much better. Forget about all the AI features, just give me anti-reflective displays all day. That's all I need. Please, Samsung. Also, we all know by now the S Pen is gone. Samsung says that the data shows that hardly any people even use it. I am okay with losing the S Pen in exchange for this slim form factor, and I think that most people will agree with that sentiment. So if Samsung can piss off like 5% of people for removing the S Pen, but make 95% of people happy with the form factor, that's probably a win for them. Now, powering this phone is the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite chip in here. It's amazing, it's powerful, yada yada. I'm not somebody who does benchmarks. I think in the grand scheme of things, they're pretty useless. And as long as the phone can do whatever it is that you need it to do, you're gonna be fine. And this phone can do whatever it is that you need it to do. The only one issue that I did run into once was using it in direct sunlight. I was listening to Spotify outside while I was fixing my pool, and it got really hot to the point where I got a warning that the phone is overheating and I had to stop playing music and take it inside. It's hit like almost 40 degrees Celsius here, so it's been really hot, unusually hot. So I can't really blame the phone for having that issue. But aside from that, the performance on here is gonna have absolutely no issues and it's gonna do whatever you need it to. Now let's talk battery and charging speeds, and this is where I have been complaining about Galaxy phones for years now. The Fold 7 has a 4400 mAh battery and charging speeds are capped at 25 watts wired and 15 watt wireless. And in a world where other flagships are pushing 65 watt and even 100 watt charging speeds, this is definitely a little bit underwhelming. Now, stepping away from my own YouTuber tech guy complaints, is the battery in here enough for the regular user to get you through the day? In most cases, yes. And the charging speeds are probably not going to be a problem for you either if that phone gets you through a full days of use and then you plug it in when you go to sleep and charge it overnight and then start your day over. You're not going to have a problem, obviously. But if you ever get to a point where you're running low on battery because you had a really heavy usage day and then you maybe need to run somewhere in 20 minutes and you only have like 10-15 minutes to charge the phone, you're just not gonna get much charge out of that, and your phone is most likely going to die before your night ends. Now let's talk software, because that's what makes this phone better than the competition. Yes, it doesn't have the best specs on paper as some of its competition. Yes, there's phones with better cameras, better batteries, but One UI 8 has been an absolutely amazing experience when it comes to the Fold phone. They've even optimized a lot of stuff for the Fold. You get enhanced multitasking, improved flex media controls. Gemini is now catered to foldables, so when you bring up Gemini, it opens up in a window and you can drag it around and place it wherever you want. And of course, all of the AI features you would expect, like circle to search, audio eraser, object eraser, AI wallpapers, and all of the other Galaxy AI goodies. It does also support Samsung DeX, but even I, a tried and true Galaxy user, don't really use DeX. I think I've used it only for video purposes. I've never actually gone out in the world and used Samsung DeX, but if you want it, it's there. So should you buy the Galaxy Fold 7? Well, it's not perfect, but it is Samsung's most refined foldable to date. It's thinner, it's lighter, more powerful, more versatile. The camera is the best we've seen in a foldable. The design feels dialed in, and the software just works. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, the competition is heating up, and there are other brands out there that are offering a little bit better battery, maybe a little bit better of a camera. But overall, the Galaxy Fold remains the gold standard for most people when it comes to a foldable device. And I would say that between One UI 8 and the 7 years of OS support, that outweighs any of these small spec bumps that you might find from the competition. So the Galaxy Fold 7 is definitely, in my opinion, the best foldable you can get today. Period. But anyways, you guys let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on the new Galaxy Fold 7. And that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.